Imagine this figure, someone incredibly influential, nearing the end of their journey.
Yeah.
But instead of despair, their final months are packed with wisdom, really practical advice, and these deep insights on building a good life, a strong community.
It's quite remarkable. It's not just history. It feels more like a blueprint, actually, for things like resilience, leadership, even personal growth.
Totally. And it's surprisingly relevant now. So today we're doing a deep dive into an ancient text, the Mahāparinibbānasutta.
That's the one. It chronicles the Buddha's final months in meticulous detail. And our goal, really, is to pull out those universal nuggets, insights that work whether you're running a company, figuring out people, or just looking for some inner calm.
Exactly. And we start our journey in a place called Rajagaha. There's a king, he's thinking about war, and right there, a teaching pops up about what makes a community truly strong. It's kind of unexpected.
It really is. So you have King Ajātasattu, and he wants to conquer the Vajjīs. They were this powerful confederacy known for their strength.
Right.
So he sends his minister, Vasakkara, to the Buddha. Ostensibly, it's to get the Buddha's take on their chances, maybe find a weakness. But what the Buddha gives him instead are these 7 conditions. Principles, really, for the Vajji's own prosperity. He basically says, look, as long as they stick to these, they won't decline. Only if they break these conditions.
Wow. Okay, so it's like a guaranteed success formula almost. What's the first condition? What's the secret sauce?
Verse 1, frequent and full public assemblies.
Okay, getting together often and like everyone involved. Makes sense. Communication, shared decisions.
Exactly. It fosters that sense of shared ownership.
Yeah.
Then second, they meet, rise, and carry out their affairs in unity.
So not just showing up, but actually working together. A real team effort.
Precisely. Number 3, not enacting new laws or abolishing existing ones arbitrarily. Instead, they adhere to their ancient, established traditions.
Stability. Respect for what works, not just chasing the new shiny thing, building on a solid foundation.
You got it. 4th, honoring, respecting, supporting their elders, and this is key, listening to their advice.
Valuing experience. Intergenerational wisdom. That feels wise.
It is. 5th, not abducting or forcibly detaining women and maidens of good families. Protecting the basic integrity of the community, of families.
Right. Fundamental social respect.
6th, honoring their shrine sitya, they're called, and keeping up the customary offerings. This points to, cultural and spiritual glue, a shared identity.
Okay.
And finally, number 7, ensuring proper protection and support for virtuous individuals, the arahants, encouraging them to visit and stay. Basically, attracting and keeping wisdom around.
So Vasakkara, the minister, he hears all this.
And he gets it immediately. He realizes, wow, you can't really beat these people in a war as long as they're doing all this. Their strength isn't just soldiers, it's their social fabric.
So the real takeaway isn't military tactics at all. It's about internal unity, shared values. That's where true strength lies. Like societal health equals societal power.
Perfectly put.
And here's the kicker, right? The really fascinating part. The Buddha immediately turns around and applies these exact same 7 principles to his own community, the monks, the bhikkhus.
Yes. It shows just how universal he saw these principles, not just for states, but for any group that wants to thrive and avoid decline.
So things like frequent meetings, unified action, following the rules, respecting elders, freedom from craving, valuing quiet reflection, welcoming good people. It works for a monastery, a kingdom, maybe even a modern business or a family.
The implication is certainly there. And he didn't stop at just those 7 adapted for the monks. He gave several more sets of 7 principles.
Oh, wow. Okay. Like what?
Well, one set focuses on avoiding distractions, things like not getting caught up in too much business or idle chatter or sleeping too much or even excessive socializing.
Huh. Sounds like timeless advice for anyone trying to focus, sort of an ancient productivity guide.
Kind of, yeah. Another set focuses on cultivating virtues, faith, modesty, conscientiousness, being careful about your actions, learning, effort, mindfulness, and wisdom.
That's a comprehensive list for personal development. More than just skills, it's about character.
Definitely. Then he talks about developing the 7 factors of enlightenment. Mindfulness again, investigation, energy, joy, tranquility, concentration, and equanimity. These are deep mental states.
Leading towards insight.
Towards profound insight and peace, yes. And also cultivating right perceptions. seeing impermanence, understanding non-self, the impurity or unsatisfactoriness of things, the danger and suffering, the need for abandoning defilements, cultivating dispassion, and aiming for cessation.
These sound like ways to fundamentally shift how you see reality.
They are. They're designed to cut through delusion. And finally, he gives 6 principles for harmonious living. Basically, acting with loving kindness in everything you do, say, and think, openly and privately. Plus, sharing fairly, keeping ethical precepts, and holding a shared right view.
So it's internal work and how you relate to the community. Both are vital.
Exactly. It's a holistic picture.
Now, as the Buddha travels on from Rajagaha through places like Ambalayaka and Ananda, this core theme keeps coming up, doesn't it? The connection between morality, concentration, and wisdom. Sileji, Samadhi, Panya.
Yes, it's a constant refrain. He emphasizes how they build on each other. Good conduct sila creates the stability needed for concentration, samadhi.
Okay.
And that focused mind, that concentration, is what allows wisdom, panya, to arise.
And wisdom is what leads to freedom.
Freedom, yes. Liberation from the taints, the deep-seated conditioning of sensual desire, the drive for existence, and ignorance. It's presented as a very clear path.
And in Nanda, we get this amazing interaction with Sariputta, one of his chief disciples. He makes this bold statement, right?
He does. A real lion's roar, they call it. He says basically there's never been, never will be, and isn't now anyone more enlightened than the Buddha.
Which sounds like, maybe just devotion, but the Buddha challenges him.
He does. He asks, well, Sariputta, do you know the minds of all the Buddhas of the past, or the future, or even me right now, fully?
And Sariputta has to say,
No, Lord, I don't.
So how does he justify his claim? It's not blind faith, then.
Not at all. He explains it's based on understanding the method, the way of the Dhamma. He uses this great analogy of a border city.
Ah, yes, the gatekeeper.
Exactly. The gatekeeper doesn't know every single person inside, but he knows the only way in or out is through that single gate.
Okay.
So Sariputta is saying, I understand the path all Buddhas take. Abandoning the 5 hindrances, establishing mindfulness, developing the 7 factors of enlightenment, that process is universal. His faith is in the observable process of awakening.
That's a really important distinction. Faith based on understanding the how.
Precisely. Then in Pailagama, the focus shifts again more toward the lay followers.
Right, getting very practical about morality.
Very practical.
Yeah.
He lists 5 clear disadvantages of being immoral, like loss of wealth through negligence.
Okay, direct hit to the wallet.
A bad reputation, fear, or lack of confidence in public gatherings.
Social consequences.
Yeah. Dying in a confused state of mind, and potentially rebirth in an unfortunate realm.
Pretty clear downsides. And the advantages of morality.
Exactly the opposite. Gaining wealth through diligence, a good reputation, confidence in public, dying unconfused, and rebirth in a heavenly realm. It's very direct cause and effect, connecting ethics to tangible life outcomes.
Makes the benefits of virtue very clear. Now, while they're there, the Buddha sees this fortress being built.
Yes, and he makes this prophecy that the village will become a great city, Pailiputta, a major trade hub.
But he also warns about dangers.
3 specific dangers: fire, water, and internal division, or breach of unity. A remarkably accurate prediction historically.
And there's that fascinating bit about deities influencing the construction.
Right. He observes that the ministers building it are doing so almost as if guided by certain gods, and that powerful deities tend to favor places where strong, wise leaders establish themselves. It adds this layer, this unseen dimension, to the shaping of human settlements.
A different way of looking at how places develop their character.
Indeed. Then they reach the river Ganges. It's flooding really wide.
And everyone else is scrambling for boats, right? Building rafts.
Exactly. But the Buddha and the monks, they just appear on the other side, instantly.
Whoa. Like a subtle demonstration of something beyond the ordinary.
A quiet display of mastery, yes. It's presented very matter-of-factly.
Then, in Kugama, he revisits the absolute core teaching.
The 4 noble truths. Suffering, its origin, craving, its cessation, nibbana, and the path to cessation, the Eightfold Path.
Why repeat them here?
It seems to be a way of grounding the journey, reminding everyone of the ultimate purpose. He says it's the lack of understanding these truths that keeps us stuck in the cycle of rebirth. Understanding them fully is liberation.
Okay. And in Nadika, people are asking about relatives who've passed away. Where did they go? What's their fate?
Yes, a very human concern. But instead of giving specific answers for each person, the Buddha offers something more empowering.
The mirror of the Dhamma.
Exactly. A tool for self-assessment. He outlines 4 qualities. If you possess these, you can know for yourself that you're on the right track, that you've attained a certain level of spiritual progress and won't fall back into lower states.
What are the four?
Unwavering confidence or faith in the Buddha, the Dhamma, the teaching, and the Sangha, the community, and possessing the virtues dear to the noble ones, meaning solid, unbroken ethical conduct.
So it's like an internal checklist. Instead of relying on an external authority to tell you how you're doing, you check your own mirror. Are you truly living with integrity? Is your confidence in the path solid?
Precisely. It fosters self-responsibility.
Then in Vasali, the instruction gets very granular, very moment to moment. Dwell mindful and clearly comprehending.
Yes, and he spells out exactly what that means. Being aware of the body posture, movements, aware of feelings pleasant, unpleasant, neutral, aware of the mind thoughts, moods, aware of mental objects or phenomena.
And applying that awareness to everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Walking, standing, sitting, lying down, speaking, staying silent, eating, drinking. Knowing what you're doing while you're doing it and understanding its purpose and suitability is a profound call to presence.
Which leads into the story of Ambapali.
Ah, yes, Ambapali the courtesan, a very respected figure in Vesali, despite her profession. She hears the Buddha is nearby and goes to invite him and the monks for a meal the next day.
And he accepts.
He accepts. And then, right after she leaves, the Lichavi princes, young, powerful nobles arrive, wanting to invite the Buddha themselves.
But they're too late.
Too late. They're clearly annoyed, even try to buy the invitation off Ambapali for a huge sum of money.
And she refuses.
Flat out refuses. She says even if they offered all of Vesali, she wouldn't give up the honor. And then, after the meal, she makes this incredible donation.
The mango grove.
She offers her entire mango grove to the Buddha and the Sangha.
That story really turns social expectations on their head, doesn't it? The wealthy princes are secondary to the devout courtesan. It's about sincerity, not status.
Absolutely. It highlights that genuine devotion and generosity can come from anywhere.
Okay, so after Vasali, the tone shifts a bit. The Buddha becomes seriously ill.
Yes, while staying at Vivekamika. The text describes it vividly, a severe illness, intense pains, like bloody dysentery. It sounds agonizing.
But he doesn't just succumb to it.
No. He endures it with mindfulness and clear comprehension, but he makes a conscious decision, a resolve, to recover. Why? Because he felt he shouldn't pass away without addressing his disciples, giving final instructions.
Incredible willpower, and that leads to a really crucial teaching, right? Born from that moment of vulnerability.
It does. After recovering somewhat, he gives the famous "Be islands unto yourselves" teaching. Be islands unto yourselves, be refuges unto yourselves. Take the Dhamma as your island, the Dhamma as your refuge. Take no other refuge.
That's powerful. What does it really mean, though? Be your own island. Is it about being alone?
I don't think it's about isolation. It's about finding your stability within, relying on the practice, on the understanding of the Dhamma as your firm ground. He even compares his own body to a worn-out cart held together with straps.
Right, emphasizing impermanence. Even his body is falling apart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the ultimate refuge can't be anything external or temporary, not even the teacher's physical presence. It has to be the timeless truth, the Dhamma, and your own practice of it. Mindfulness of body, feelings, mind, phenomena. That's the real refuge.
Cultivating inner resilience, basically.
Yes. Then comes this really poignant, almost tragic moment at the Pavala Satya.
Ah, where Ananda doesn't quite get the hint.
That's putting it mildly.
Yeah.
The Buddha mentions almost casually how anyone who has developed the four bases of spiritual power could, if they wished, remain for an entire eon.
These bases being things like strong will, effort, consciousness, investigation.
Exactly. And he hints quite strongly, 3 times, offering Ananda the chance to formally request him to stay for the good of the world.
But Ananda's mind, the text says it was possessed by Mara. What does that mean here? Distracted, confused?
It's likely overcome by some form of mental obstruction, maybe doubt, maybe just not grasping the significance of the moment. Mara represents those forces that hinder awakening, because Ananda fails to ask.
The opportunity is lost.
The opportunity is lost. And the Buddha then explicitly states, Ananda, the Tathagata has decided, in 3 months, I will attain final nibbana.
And the earth shakes.
A great earthquake, thunder. the cosmos reacting to this immense decision.
Ananda is obviously devastated and confused, asks about the earthquake.
And the Buddha gives 8 reasons why major earthquakes happen. Some are naturalistic, like great winds. Others are linked to pivotal moments in a Buddha's life.
Like conception, birth, enlightenment.
Setting the teaching in motion, relinquishing the life principle which just happened, and the final passing away. And also when beings with great psychic power and deities will it, it weaves together the mundane and the supermundane.
And he goes on to describe his own abilities, doesn't he? The 8 assemblies, 8 masteries.
Yes, showing the extent of his own development of those bases of spiritual power he mentioned. He can enter assemblies of gods, Brahmas, Mara himself, appearing just like them, teaching them, without them recognizing his true form until he chooses.
And the masteries and liberations show this incredible control over perception and consciousness.
Deep levels of meditative absorption and insight. It's like he's subtly showing Ananda what was possible, the power he was choosing to relinquish.
Then Mara shows up again, the evil one.
Right. But this time, Mara isn't tempting him away from enlightenment. He's urging him to pass away now.
Why?
Mara reminds the Buddha of his original intention after enlightenment, that he wouldn't pass away until the holy life was well established, with capable monks, nuns, laymen, laywomen, until the Dhamma was widely taught and flourishing.
And Mara says, basically, mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished, your conditions are met, now you can enter final Nibbana. And the Buddha agrees. He confirms his teaching is well established and reaffirms his decision. 3 months. It gives a sense of completion to his life's work.
Okay, so then he gathers the monks in the Mahavana, the Great Wood.
For a major final exhortation, he urges them to learn, practice, develop, and thoroughly cultivate all the key teachings he's given, the foundations of mindfulness, the path factors, enlightenment factors, etc., for the long-lasting benefit and happiness of all beings.
And he uses that simile of the potter's pot.
A powerful image of impermanence. Whether baked or unbaked, all these pots are destined to break. So too is life subject to death. A call to urgency, really. Practice now.
He takes one last look at Vasali.
Yes, the elephant's gaze. A slow, mindful turning of the whole body. A final farewell. Then, at Boganagra, he delivers something incredibly important for the future.
The 4 great referrals, or Mahāpadesas.
Yes, a vital tool for doctrinal purity after he's gone. Essentially, a method for verifying teachings.
How does it work? It sounds like ancient quality control.
It really is. He says if someone comes claiming a teaching is from the Buddha himself, or from a whole community of monks, or from a group of elder monks, or even from a single respected elder.
You don't just accept it blindly.
No. You carefully compare their words, sentence by sentence, syllable by syllable, against the existing suttas, the discourses, and the Vinaya, the monastic discipline.
The established canon.
Exactly. If it matches up, you accept it. If it doesn't fit, you reject it, saying, this is not the word of the Blessed One. It's a call for critical examination based on the original sources, incredibly relevant today with so much information floating around.
Absolutely. A framework for discernment. Okay, then comes the last meal.
At Pava, offered by Kunda, the metalsmith. It includes a dish called Sukaramandava. The exact nature is debated, maybe pork, maybe a type of mushroom or truffle.
And the Buddha gives specific instructions about it.
Very specific. He tells Kunda to serve only him that dish, and to bury whatever's left over. He states that no one else in the entire world, human or divine, could properly digest it except the Tathagata.
And after eating it?
He suffers his final, most severe illness. Again, intense pain, dysentery. But even then, he endures it with mindfulness, determined to reach his chosen place of passing, Kusinara.
On the way, there's that incident with the stream.
Yes, he's thirsty. Asks Ananda for water from a stream that was just muddied by hundreds of carts crossing it.
Ananda hesitates, naturally. Suggests going further to a clear river.
But the Buddha insists, and the moment Ananda goes to fetch the water, the stream miraculously runs clear.
Another subtle sign. Soon after, they meet Pukusa.
A Malo prince, formerly a disciple of another teacher, Alara Kalama. Pukusa tells this story about how incredibly concentrated his old teacher was.
Right, he didn't notice 500 carts rumbling past while meditating.
Exactly. He presents it as the pinnacle of absorption.
But the Buddha pops it.
Significantly. The Buddha recounts a time when he was meditating and a massive thunderstorm hit, lightning striking, thunder crashing, even killing farmers and oxen nearby, and he was completely unaware of it.
Wow, that really puts meditative depth into perspective.
It does. Pukusa is so impressed, he offers the Buddha 2 beautiful robes of golden cloth.
And when Ananda puts one on the Buddha,
He notices it seems dull against the Buddha's skin, which is incredibly radiant.
and the Buddha explains this radiance.
He says his skin becomes exceptionally clear and bright on only 2 occasions, the night he attains enlightenment and the night he passes away into final nibbana. He then gently reminds them that true honor isn't just about robes or offerings.
But living the Dhamma,
Living according to the Dhamma, practicing rightly, that's the highest form of reverence.
they finally reach Kusinara, the Sala Grove.
The Upavatana Sala Grove. And the Buddha asks Ananda to prepare his resting place, a couch between 2 twin sala trees, with his head facing north. This is where he will lie down for the last time.
And nature itself seems to react, right?
The sala trees bloom completely out of season, raining down blossoms. Celestial flowers fall, heavenly music plays, a cosmic honoring.
But then he asks his attendant, Upavana, who's standing fanning him, to move aside.
Yes. Ananda is puzzled, but the Buddha explains that countless deities from all over the universe have gathered to witness his final moments, and Upavana is blocking their view.
Deities are crowding around.
10 world systems worth of deities, he says. He even describes their reactions. Some are weeping, tearing their hair out in grief, the ones still bound by worldly attachments. But others, the deities free from passion, are calm, reflecting on impermanence. All compounded things are transient.
A powerful image of different levels of understanding, even among celestial beings. Ananda is still very much grieving, though.
Deeply distressed, he asks practical questions. What should they do for pilgrimage after he's gone? How should monks interact with women?
And the Buddha designates 4 specific places for pilgrimage.
His birthplace, Lumbini, the place of enlightenment, Bodh Gaya, where he gave his first sermon, Sarnath, and the place of his passing, Kusinara. He says visiting these with devotion can lead to a heavenly rebirth.
And the advice about women.
Essentially, practice restraint and mindfulness. Best not to see them. If you do see them, don't speak. If you must speak, maintain strong mindfulness. It reflects the monastic context and discipline. Then Ananda asks about the funeral rites.
What should they do with his body?
The Buddha tells the monks not to worry about it. Let the lay followers, wise nobles, Brahmins, householders who have faith, honor the Tathagata's remains.
Like how they honor a great king.
Exactly. He details the process. Wrapping the body in layers of new cloth and cotton wool, placing it in an iron oil vessel, cremating it on a pyre of fragrant woods, and then erecting a stupa, a reliquary monument, at a major crossroads.
And he specifies who is worthy of a stupa.
4 types. A fully enlightened Buddha, a Pechaga Buddha, a solitary enlightened one, an arahant disciple of a Buddha, and a universal monarch, Takabari. Paying homage to such stupas, he says, brings calm and happiness, leading to a good rebirth.
Amidst all this instruction, Ananda is still struggling emotionally.
Overwhelmed, he actually steps aside to weep, lamenting that he's still just a trainee and his compassionate teacher is about to pass away. It's such a human, relatable moment.
And the Buddha calls him back.
Calls him back and comforts him so tenderly. He praises Ananda for his incredibly long, selfless, dedicated service, acting with love and kindness in body, speech, and mind, always thoughtful, always present.
He reassures him about his spiritual attainment.
Yes, tells him he's made great merit, to keep striving, and he will soon be free from the taints himself. He reaffirms Ananda's wisdom and capability, gently explaining that his earlier lapse at Pavala Satya was due to Mara's influence, essentially absolving him, and reminds him again, separation is inevitable, everything compounded is impermanent.
A final, compassionate encouragement for his closest companion.
Beautifully put. Then he addresses all the monks one last time, gives them a final chance to ask any questions, clear up any doubts about the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha, the path.
And they remain silent?
Complete silence. They have no doubts. So the Buddha speaks his very last words.
Which are?
Handadani, Bhikkhave, amatayame vo, vilaytarmasoharo, apamadeno sampa. Now, monks, I declare this to you. All compounded things are subject to decay. Strive on with diligence. A final call to mindful effort.
And then?
He enters progressively deeper states of meditation, the jhanas, moving up through them, then back down, then up again to the 4th jhana, and from that state he passes into final nibbana.
The ultimate peace. And again, the earth reacts.
Another great earthquake, accompanied by thunder, just as Venerable Anuruddha confirms his passing, marking the end of an extraordinary life.
So we've journeyed through these final months, these last teachings. It's an incredible tapestry, isn't it? From principles of good governance with the Vajjīs to community building, deep meditative practices, ethics for daily life, and ultimately facing death with wisdom and composure.
It really is. The mirror of the Dhamma for self-assessment, the emphasis on mindfulness, the four great referrals for checking truth. It's all remarkably practical, even thousands of years later.
As we wrap up this deep dive, it makes you think about that instruction. Rely on the Dhamma and the Vinaya, the teachings and the discipline, as your guide after the teacher is gone. And use those four great referrals to test what you hear.
The timeless challenge.
Absolutely. So maybe the question for you, listening now, is this. In our own age, which is just saturated with information, endless narratives, constant claims on our attention, how can you apply that ancient method? How do you discern what's truly beneficial, what aligns with core principles versus what's just noise? What practices could help you become your own island, finding that refuge and wisdom right in the middle of this busy, often confusing modern world?